The first few minutes were unsettling. It wasn't a live feed. The image was buffered, slightly out of sync, like watching a recording played on an old VHS player. But there he was, my grandfather, younger than I'd ever imagined him, meticulously cleaning the engine of the Bronco under the harsh Nevada sun. He moved, then the scene changed. My grandfather was still working on the engine, but now he seemed trapped. The camera zoomed in slowly on his face, capturing a flicker of terror in his eyes. He glanced directly at the lens, a silent plea for help etched onto his. Suddenly, the image shifted again. I wasn't seeing my grandfather anymore. The camera was now pointed outwards, capturing the outside of the Bronco through his lens. But it wasn't the vast Nevada desert I expected. Instead, I saw a dark, narrow alleyway, lined with decaying buildings that I tried to pull over, but the Bronco wouldn't respond. The steering wheel was locked, the accelerator jammed. The camera continued its relentless display of the alleyway, now with a clearer sense of urgency. The figures were closer, moving with unnatural speed. I frantically searched for the camera, abruptly cut back to my grandfather's face, his expression now devoid of any emotion. He wasn't afraid anymore. Instead, he smiled knowingly. "You shouldn't have looked," he said, his voice a distorted echo within the car's speakers. As I stared at him, trying to then the camera's view shifted one last time. I wasn't in the Bronco anymore. I was standing in that same alleyway, surrounded by the shadowy figures. My grandfather stood before me, no longer a mechanic, but something older, something impossibly ancient. He raised his hand and pointed directly. The Bronco shuddered violently. The humming ceased. The camera went dark. I slumped against the seat, gasping for breath, the rain still falling around me. As I slowly regained my senses, a single object lay on the dashboard, a small, intricately carved cogwheel made of what looked like. I realized with chilling clarity. The backup camera hadn't been recording my grandfather's last moments. It had been capturing my past, parallel realities. It was looping back on itself, perpetually recording and re-experiencing my life. My grandfather hadn't vanished 50 years ago. He had simply returned, trapped within the endless feedback loop of his own creation, a digital echo destined to repeat until oblivion.